exciting.
Woody is very interested in this sock monkey friend that I've had for a very, very long time.
Okay. I know, Christmas is so fun. Christmas is so fun.
What is up, you guys? Happy beginning of the holiday season. I love winter. I love the holidays, so I'm like so excited that it is officially Christmas gift, holiday gift, planning, making time. Like, this is the truly my favorite time of the year because I love to make gifts for so many people. But of course there's a lot of like planning and time and negotiating with like how much time do you really spend on Christmas and Christmas gifts. I've been putting a lot of thought into what I want to make everyone for Christmas. Today's November 20th and I put my Christmas sweater on to intro this video, even though I wouldn't normally wear a Christmas sweater on November 20th. This is a version that I made of Autumn Olive Crochet's pullover pattern. It's like the same one that my carnival cardigan was made from, but the pullover version. And I made it using Destiny Makes Snoopy Puffer Snoopy graph, which is so adorable. I actually still need to add a little pom-pom to his beanie, but I love this graph, and I did like white on the bottom for snow and then I mirrored it on the sleeves. But yeah, I love this sweater so much. This is the Christmas sweater that I made last year, and I don't think I'm gonna make like an official Christmas sweater this year. This one's incredible, so there's no wanting for anything. I'm very happy with this sweater. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about who I need to make gifts for and what I'm making them or what I'm planning to make them. Things could change, of course. For my husband's family, we're doing like a Secret Santa where instead of like every adult having to get presents for all the adults, it's like you buy one person like $100 value gift and then you get $100 value gift. So everyone gives one, receives one, and everyone's happy. And that's what we've been doing for like the last couple years. I was lucky enough to draw Mom, who, if you have watched any of my videos, you know she's like literally my favorite person on earth. I genuinely believe that I was meant to find my husband to marry into this family and have Mom as my grandma. I love her so, so much. So I said, okay, great. I will take that $100 and I will make a $100 quilt for Mom. So I hinted in the last video that I was making a quilt for someone, and it is Mom. So we'll get into the details of that later. The first group is my best friends that live locally. Tara, Meg, Andrea. I want to make all of them something. I'm just so obsessed with my friends here. Like, I just truly have made such good friends. I love to make them stuff. So I want to make them quilt block sweatshirts or like raw edge applique sweatshirts. I'm gonna play with it and see what feels more fun in the moment, but I have seen sweatshirts that people make where it's like literally just like a Hanes or like Gildan or whatever sweatshirt, and you make like a singular quilt block and then you attach that block to like double-sided interfacing and stick it on, and then you can like sew with like a zigzag or something or like a decorative stitch around it, and then it's like a sweatshirt but it has like a handmade quilt block on it. And I just think that's such a fun way that I can like give my friends something quilted but that's like also a garment, because I just know my friends would love to wear something like that. But my other idea is like along the same vein, and that is to do something inspired by like the account that comes to my head when I think of this is Mag's Rags. She makes the coolest stuff, and I love, like, I'm just so inspired by her use of like raw edge applique. So that's another option too, is to do like personalized little designs on sweatshirts using scrap fabric and whatever. So maybe I'll do some of each or both, I don't know, but that's what I want to do for my best friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's make some Christmas gifts. All right, let's talk Mom's quilt. So I'll put a picture here on the screen of like the reference that I'm using, but I want to make Mom a gingham style quilt. So Mom loves plaids, ginghams. She's like, her house aesthetic is very much like that country inspired like grandma core. It's just so good. She has tons of like miniatures and like little needlepoint things and like wallpaper. She has glittery popcorn ceiling. I don't know if I've mentioned this in any of my videos, but I'm like, I love popcorn ceiling. This is like one of my unpopular opinions. I like really like popcorn ceiling. So she has glitter in her popcorn ceiling. She is so iconic. But she loves like, you know, stuff that's like buffalo check and gingham and plaid and like quaint cottage, country, apple pie in the oven, wallpaper on every wall, potpourri in the bathroom. Like that's the vibe. So I was really torn between like, do I want to make her a Christmas quilt or do I want to make her a quilt that she can have out like year round? Or do I want to make her something that's like fall inspired? Because Mom is a lover of fall, autumn vibes. She shares my love of Halloween and her spirit is very like autumnal. In the spirit of that, I decided that I wanted to choose like fabrics that felt more like year round, but having that like autumnal, seasonal like spirit. I was like, can I figure out a way that she can have a quilt out all the time that gives those vibes? And I think I figured it out. So I chose 3 fabrics for the 3 parts of the gingham quilt. So you need like a light, a medium, and a dark fabric to make the gingham work. So you're essentially making gingham out of squares using a light, a medium, and a dark tone. And it's so easy because you just sew squares together. So that's what like intrigued me, was like, I can make something that's really visually stunning and that will really like reflect her style, but it won't require a lot of measuring, a lot of cutting in crazy shapes and things like that, which is like frustrating and hard and takes time. And I know that I don't have the most time in the world to make all of these gifts. The dark, medium, and light fabrics that I ended up going with are these 3. So the medium one is the one that you see the most of in the quilt. And I picked this beautiful pine cone fabric that's got a little bit of like something like a little shimmer or something kind of underneath. I already washed it, so this is how it looks after being washed. I love it so much. It's kind of a small scale pine cone print. There are a lot of like other pine cone prints. This is actually a Christmas fabric. So I got this one from the Christmas section at Joann. And then my light and dark are from the calico cottons at Joann. This one is just a washed, like dyed brown, dark brown, very chocolatey. And then the light one that I went with kind of has this like birch look to it. It's like a lighter, almost wood-like tone. But I just thought that the 3 together were really beautiful, and I thought that the gingham that it would make would be super like organic and natural and pretty and like autumnal and would just fit my mom's vibe. So those are the 3 fabrics that I went for. And then to spice it up and make it even more fun, I got this quilting thread. This is from Coats and Clarks. I got this at Joann for machine quilting, and I think the color is called, okay, it doesn't actually say the color, but I'm pretty sure that it literally is called like fall or autumn leaves or something like that. But I thought that would be such a fun thread to like quilt on top of these fabrics with. So I'm excited. I've never used one of these like multicolored quilting threads. I think that's gonna be so fun. So because this is like a simple quilt, that's really all that there is to it, is just making a big old checkerboard patchwork. So this is the backing fabric that I got. It's just like I don't know, it's just like an evergreen situation with like little leaves. I wanted to bring a little more color in. This also brings it through to be like a little bit more like wintry, but also springy, you know? So I think it works. This is the quilt backing sized fabric from Joann, so it's bigger, so I won't have to like sew it together like I have in the past. So I'm excited about that. So it was really nice to have like the budget from the Secret Santa to go to Joann and be like, okay, I'm gonna get like all the stuff for my dream quilt to make my mom. That's gonna be the first thing. I think I'm honestly feeling like just kind of getting going on this patchwork. I think it'll be such a fun process because it's gonna be like chain piecing. I'm gonna get to chain piece again. I haven't done that in so long, so let's get to it. This is where we're at on my mom's quilt. I'm basically just lining up a bunch of the lighter squares to make the long strips. And I have these strips pretty much all ironed, but it's not enough for the whole quilt. I'm just gonna start like piecing it together as I go. I feel like I'm finally getting into the flow with this patchwork. I kind of just started sewing shit together without a plan, and that was fine, but now I'm starting to like be way smarter about it, which has been making the process a lot smoother and less confusing, which is great. By the way, my phone died. That's why I was like, shit, and I turned the camera on. It's like, well, if I can't enjoy any content, I might as well just film silently. Alright, that should be a tenner. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm doing like strips of 10. I'm doing like, yeah, my strips are 10 squares long. And I kind of fucked up and I just did a lot of 8 square long ones for the dark strips, but it should be fine. Guys, I just realized something so tragic. Do you see the difference in the tones of those pine cone fabrics? Here it is. So I originally bought this one, which is the one I like. It's like really warm tone. And then I had to go back and get more because I didn't have enough squares. And I wanted it to be as big as the guide I was following or bigger. And apparently I picked a different bolt and it's like a different tone. And that really bothers me because so far I've only used, like thankfully I've only used the good one. But like at the bottom of my stack was these. Anyways, I'm gonna have to take both of these to Joanne as a swatch and try and find the correct one and get more. That is so annoying. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Alright, well, that's gonna be a tomorrow project, I guess. But in the meantime, I'm still gonna see like how much I'll actually need and how big the quilt is and everything like that. So we are making such good progress on Mom's quilt top. I have 7 strips, so 70 squares sewn together right now. And the gingham effect is fully coming together. It looks so cute. So I think I'm about halfway done, maybe like a little less than halfway depending on how big I make it, but really like it's just up to me how big it is. So we'll see, I guess, but it's looking really, really good. Guys, I am having problems with my sewing machine again. So literally like if I sew a line and then I like turn off my machine and I walk away, when I come back, this screw is like loosened and that has fallen. Okay, and like the foot will come off of this piece. The same type of issue I was having with my walking foot where this screw would just loosen like with every quilt line. And so I'm wondering, is it an issue with this screw, which doesn't look stripped to me at all? Or is it an issue with like this piece, which might like be stripped on the inside? And all that to say, is that something that I can fix? Like, can I just replace like just this piece? Or I know for sure you can replace these screws, but like, can I replace this piece? I think it's the piece, not the screw. Or it's just that my sewing machine is like, I've just put it through too much and it's like time for a new one. I don't know, but it's stressing me out. All right, you guys, we have a quilt top done. Oh, hi, Morty. He's about to walk over it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. It kind of matches you. Morty, you kind of look like this quilt, not gonna lie. What do you think? What do you think? It's for my mom, one of your favorite people ever. Morty loves my mom with a passion. Anyways, we have this gorge quilt top and the, oh my god, ignore this pile of books, wrapping paper, twine. This is my wrapping gift station at the moment. So, and this is like the only area I have in my entire house with like enough space to lay this out.
And this one felt like it was a little too small to try and do like the table method that I do. Plus, the last few times I did the table method, I ended up with a lot of puckers in my quilt. So maybe we should stick to basting on the floor, and that's my plan. So I've got the green on the back, so that's the quilt vibe. And honestly, you guys, the gingham is such a slay. I love it so much. The only thing about the gingham is if your corners aren't super lined up, like any checkerboard, it does look a little funky. And for some reason, a couple of my lighter strips, I think there's one like up here too, were like a little bit longer. I don't know if that was just the way I cut it or if the give of the fabric or something, but there's a few places where the corners like aren't perfect, but the look of the gingham is so cute. I like really love it. Isn't it great, Mort? Isn't it so great? What do you think? 2 paws up from this guy. Before Morty literally tramples all over this quilt again, let's baste it and get it all situated.
Okay, back it up. Back it up. Get off. Oh my god. Literally fighting for my life right now, trying to get Morty to leave me alone so I can baste my quilt. Morty, I swear to God. Morty is obsessed with this quilt. Morty, you need to get off so I can baste this. I'm gonna have to lock you in a bedroom. I know, but Mom is your favorite person. She can't be my favorite person. She's your favorite person. I know he's being so mischievous. He said, this quilt matches me, and my mom has not made me a quilt yet. So this is my quilt. Don't you dare lay down. Get off this. Off. Come on, off. Oh my god. Has anyone ever basted a quilt by laying on it and starfishing your body out? Seems like a pretty good method, not gonna lie. Okay, you guys, what is up? It's been a couple days since I updated you guys, and honestly, I've just been doing sort of boring quilt stuff. I was quilting the entire thing, and I also bound the entire thing, so I will show you. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So the gingham pattern looks so cute. I'm really happy with like the choices I made. You can see the multicolored stitching is like pretty subtle, but it's very fun. And then on the back, I really, really love, sorry, it's like kind of late in the day, so the lighting isn't that great. I really, really love how the multicolor stitching turned out on the back. I think it's so cute, and it makes like a really nice grid effect, and this quilt is so cozy feeling. Like, it's literally a dream. It turned out to be such a nice size, and I'm so happy. So I need to fold her up and wrap it, and that'll be my Secret Santa gift for the year, and also my big handmade gift to Mom. So that's a huge thing off my Christmas gift list. I will say, of course, making a quilt is a lot of work. So this was very, very time consuming, and that was a choice that I made, but I did really like love making it. This is just like a good old classic quilt, and it was just all squares, super simple patchwork, really fun to make, and really, honestly, really, really fun to quilt. This is like the most fun I've had quilting in a minute doing this pattern. And fun fact, this is actually the very first quilt pattern, like quilt style, that I ever did. The very first quilt I ever made was a little baby quilt from a charm pack, and the quilt style that I used was this style where you don't stitch in the ditch, but you just stitch like around, and you don't even need a quilting bar or like measuring thing. You can just use, like what I did was just use like, put your needle in the center and use the side of your foot, your walking foot. Each seam you do 2 lines, and simple as that. It's really nice. I will say the only challenging thing about it is there are some areas where like Okay, this is like a perfect example of like a corner that's like perfect, right? Perfectly aligned, perfect square. I mean, you know, as perfect as I will ever get. But then there are some places like, oh my god, this is a great example of this. There's some places like right here where my corner is like super off. I don't know. I had some of my strips that had the lighter fabric were just super off for some reason. Two of them, which gave me some weird corners, but you can see like how kind of not straight my quilting lines are there because I was having to like zoop out to account for my screwy corner. Other than that, this is a super, super easy and really, really fun quilt style. And I'd recommend if you're new to quilting, but you've maybe made like a baby quilt or pot holders or something and you want to like make a full-size quilt, maybe try this. And you could just do like checkerboard if you're more into checkerboard than gingham. But I think this is gonna look so cute in my mom's house and I'm thrilled. I really just was in the mood to wrap a present and I was like, I need to film an update on this quilt so that I can wrap it and put it under my tree.
So I just started working on Tara's sweatshirt and I was at my local quilt store a couple weeks ago and I found this Tula Pink fabric, which I've never worked with her fabric before, but I saw this at the quilt store and my friend Tara has, right now her hair is like half pink, half orange, but she's had full pink, she's had other colors, she's like a colorful hair gal. And this girl, which I think is actually Tula Pink's sister, is what this print is inspired by. I just saw this and I was like, that is like Tara as like a teenager. Like it's just giving like Tara energy, but like youthful. I don't know, it's just so cute. And it also has a little kitty in it, which Tara is a cat lover. And I just thought this was just so cute. And there's little like rabbits and amazing things. So I roughly cut this out so that I could get a panel going. I do have extra if I fuck this up, but I think I'm gonna do a quilt block for this because this fabric just screams quilt block to me. So I'm gonna try and figure out what sort of, I'll probably do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm gonna try and make this like a square, but this direction. And then I'm gonna play with figuring out how to work this into something else. I mean, I would be okay with a quilt block that was like askew like this on the sweatshirt. I think that would be cute, but this panel itself is a pretty good size. Like, just for reference, this is a little 2.5 inch cube. So this is like a pretty big thing to be putting on a sweatshirt. So I'm not gonna get that much more out of it. The other idea I have is like to make this a square and then maybe to do other appliques like around it. I also found this Tula Pink fabric, which is like these super cute cat food cans. And this color palette is just like Tara, fully. And then I was at Joann and I found this beet fabric, which Tara loves Animal Crossing. This was feeling Animal Crossing like I might incorporate this in. And then Tara also loves cows. And I thought this like cow print was like really fun with these. So I don't know, I'm just experimenting with how to make this work. I'm kind of just literally experimenting. Like this could go horribly wrong, but I just thought these would make such cute little appliques. I just have to figure out how to make this all work, but I'm gonna make this like the centerpiece. So I started actually with this square, which is like 8.5 inches, and I just thought it was too big. There was like a lot of filigree and it wasn't like lining up. So then I actually switched to this one, which is 6.5 inches, and I think this is perfect. Like I love how we see just a little bit of this up here, but it's not like the focus necessarily. I just think this looks good. And there's going to be a 1/4 inch in from this as well, but I think this will be so pretty. And then I can sort of figure out from there how I want to do the rest of the block. Guys, I just had a huge stroke of inspiration. So I think I'm going to do Tara's is I'm actually going to like do this as raw edge applique. So I'm going to like attach this piece to this piece, which is just like a full square. And then I added this little beat as like a little accent and she's like looking up at it. I think this is so fucking cute. So I'm going to do this and I'm just going to attach each piece like as raw edge applique. And then I think I'm going to do like either a zigzag or some sort of like decorative stitch with like bright green thread along the edge of this. And then I might do like orange or like another accent color around this. And it's just going to be so fun. I'm so happy with this. And I didn't mention this, but the sweatshirt I have a series of just like basic sweatshirts that I'm doing this on for my friends, and hers is chocolate brown, which I think will just look so cute with this. Those are in the wash now, but like I'm just working on actually really just finding like my vision because I wasn't sure what I was doing yet, and like she is going to fucking die. She's going to love this. So I'm super excited. I feel like I'm on the right track here. Guys, look how cute it looks on the sweatshirt. I'm so excited. So I'll talk you through kind of what I did here. So I used this Pellon, it's called Pellon Wonder Under, and essentially it is this interfacing that has like a papery side and like a webbing that is fusible. And it's really useful for any kind of like raw applique type of thing. So basically you like iron one side, so you're ironing fabric to the interfacing, and then you're able to peel the paper off the back, stick it on another fabric, and iron it again, and it glues it down. So I did that for both of these pieces. Like I glued this one to this piece and then this piece to the sweatshirt. And then I went in on my sewing machine with some like decorative zigzaggies and just like closed in all the edges. I think, based on my research, I think that this will hold up in the wash like pretty well, but it is somewhat experimental. I don't know. These are my best friends, so if it falls apart, I'll make it right. But that is like, oh, so cute. I'm loving the vision. And then I still think I want to maybe add the beat in there somewhere. Update, I finished Tara's sweatshirt. I added this cutie little beat. I think it looks so cute. I love it. And the fun thing about this is like if your stitches aren't perfect, like it just adds to it. I just think it's so cute. So this is the fabric that I picked out for Meg. I just love this fabric so much, and I don't know, anytime I make something for her, I always feel like it's like a blend of our styles. Like I definitely don't think Meg would like necessarily pick this out, but like she will love it, if that makes sense. So I'm like really excited to work with this. And in my head, I was thinking like Meg has lately been wearing a lot more neutrals than like fun colors, but like I said, pushing her because I love when she wears fun colors. But what I'm thinking is I might cut some little squares, this one or maybe even a little bit smaller, out of this fabric, and then I want to do for hers like the way that I had Tara's base as like that cat food fabric. I'm thinking I might do the base as like a checkerboard or some sort of like squares back quilt block, and then I might use this fabric that I've had for a while. I got this as a clearance fabric from Joann that's just like a bunch of pinup images, and I especially like this one of this woman like with her dress flying up on this table. I think that's cool. This one's really cute. I don't know, like I think maybe I'll pull one of these. And also it has like these little picture frames, which I feel like if I cut that out and make a little patch out of it, it would be so cute. So I'm thinking of using this as like appliques on top, kind of like I'm doing with the beat for Tara. And when I was going through my fabric, I found this is like what I have left from making that giant hand pillow, this like composition notebook type of fabric. And I feel like this and this are like a really fun retro feeling combo. I also found this little scrap from my cottagecore quilt that I thought Meg like loves little tulips like this, and she loves like Scandinavian stuff too, so I don't know, I just thought she would really like that. And then I was looking at that combo and I was like, damn, that's really cool. So, and then with this as like some sort of an applique, it's funky, but like I think she'll love it, and I'm really inspired, so I'm going to move in this direction. So my only thought is, do I need maybe like a solid to break these up in like a checkerboard quilt? Like maybe I should pull like maybe like a butter yellow, or even like a cream or something might look nice. My only thought is that I'm gonna be pressing the seams open and cream will likely show, so that's kind of unideal. I'm gonna go look through my solids and see if I can find something that would go with these, but I'm loving this direction. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but Meg's sweatshirt is like a classic blue color. It's like golden hour, the sun's going down, so the lighting is kind of odd right now, but this is the sweatshirt base and I just loved this fabric with it. And again, I think this is so fun, although this doesn't really go quite as well. Maybe in the quilt block it'll be cute, and then this on top, like fun. I love it. Okay, I'm watching Monet Talks. But this is kind of what I'm feeling. This is a little bit small for what I was hoping, but I think obviously this is going to be a little smaller too without seam allowance, but I think if I add appliques, I think that will improve the situation. So yeah, let's go with this. And worst case, I have a cool quilt block to make like a pot holder out of or something if I don't use it for Meg's thing. I was playing around with all of the different images on this fabric, and honestly, I just felt like my bestie Meg would just want this little child painting like right in the middle like that. Like simple, clean, boom. So this is the quilt block. I love the way the back looks so much, but I think this fabric is to die for. I love it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this one onto the interfacing, and then I think I'm going to put it on the sweatshirt and then sew it on, and I'm going to like sleep on it because I kind of want to add for Meg, I kind of want to add like raw edge applique of like some kind of word or something else that's like going to be more in the foreground, but I just don't know yet. So for now I'm going to go with this, and I just love this quilt block so much. Like I have tons of this fabric left. I might have to make myself a quilt with this fabric because I love it so much. I'm changing my machine to cream thread for the external border to sew down Meg's sweatshirt, but like, look how cute! I think that this is such a fun way to like, if you're a quilter or someone that likes patchwork, I just think this is like such a fun way to give your friends something that's like a quilted piece that you've made that's like something they can wear, but you don't have to like literally quilt a garment. And also the like longevity of it, like this should be able to be completely washed once it's stitched down. Like it should not be a problem. And this is just a sweatshirt. So I feel like it's just like they can wear your art around like all the time. It's super cute. And like if I saw a girl wearing this, I'd be like, hello, I want to be your friend. So I think it's like adorable. I love it. I love how both have turned out so far. So I'm going to do like maybe a larger zigzag on this one just because like I think it'll be cool. I fully finished Meg's sweatshirt. I keep like thinking this is a Monchichi, which is one of my favorite things in the world. This turned out so absolutely adorable. I did 2 rows of zigzags on hers just because the first one, like I missed a little bit in the corner, and also I kind of had the settings a little bit odd and it wasn't a big enough zigzag, but it honestly looks cool with the double zig. I'm obsessed with this. I think she's going to love it. So I'm really, really, really happy with that. Guys, I had a stroke of genius for what to do for my friend Andrea's sweatshirt. So Andrea made earlier this year this chicken, which let me just shout out the talent of my best friend real quick. She both dyed the wool, spun the yarn, and knitted the chicken. Like literally made this chicken, birthed this chicken into existence. Anyways, a few days after she made him, in a dream, his name came to me, and I immediately texted her thinking like, oh, nothing of it, it's not going to be his name. And then she was like, no, that's fully his name. So his name is Quaker Oat Boy, and he's kind of an icon of our friend group. He's just this iconic chicken. Anyways, I am going to make the applique of Quaker Oat Boy. He does not have legs, and he will not be getting legs in this either, but I just made this patch out of some of Mom's old fabric she gave me that was in my cottagecore quilt and was part of my lounge lizard, so you guys have seen this fabric a lot. It doesn't exactly do justice to Andrea's insanely beautiful dyed yarn, but it gives the effect. So I've been making these little raw edge applique pieces, so I made that little crest, and I made his little beak, and then I made his little eyeball. How cute! I'm literally so obsessed, and I know for a fact she's gonna scream when she sees this, so I can't wait. So I'm just gonna add his little details, and then I need to figure out like how I'm gonna stitch it on. Actually, looking at it right now, it might make sense if I don't put these on and I stitch this on first with like a tan, and then I do these. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But yay, I'm so excited that I finally had like inspo of what to do for hers. And I love the way it looks on the gray too. It's so cute. Just finished stitching up Quaker Oat Boy. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I definitely think I should have pulled out my free motion foot to do this. I was doing this without a free motion foot, which is very unnecessarily challenging. It was the only one that I was going to need to do that for, so I don't think I will at this point, but I really want to do more raw edge applique like this and like upcycling stuff. And I really need to get into that free motion quilting foot for real. But there he is, Quaker Oat Boy. Sleigh number 1. Sleigh number 2. Sleigh number 3.